concerned that they might not get there.
Yeah, it's down to execution for Supernova in the laning phase. We'll have to see. I have to make a note. I don't think I've ever been as annoyed by a voice line as this old G voice line. There's something about it. It feels like it's so loud in comparison to any other voice line. Like, it's actually so volume boosted. Like, the Seb voice line is not that loud to me, but whenever I hear that, it just completely blindsides me. And my settings on Dota audio is actually pretty low. So it just catches me off guard every time, I have to tell you. I'm like, what the hell is this voice in my head?
Big Bugna. They haven't said the other one. I don't remember what... I think the other one's Seb, that's right. Oh, I haven't heard it, though. It's like some OG version of Seb, but I don't know if it sounds like a grandpa saying it, so... yeah, I haven't heard that one just yet, but I know kind of it. I saw people spamming in Dream League last night. This is a great position for Poke to be in. Hang on a second. How'd they get around here? It doesn't look like Supernova are aware of this as well, but I thought for a second they might run to the right side. They're gonna run into Shen. Looks like he should be okay though. Oh man, that's up. A Hail Mary of an arrow, just hoping that somehow Shen doesn't dodge it.
They're still going here.
All right. A decay onto 2, but importantly, Cheap that's going to be able to hold Killer into place. They should be able to bring him down with a last right click from Han, and the puck is able to secure first blood. Already in a matchup that should be pretty favored here for the puck, so he's going to be even more happy. There's about to be a bottle picked up already as well.
Yeah, triple bounty rune plus first blood gold for Han. I mean, you just get everything you'd want. Early bottle, early sustain against the Storm, more harassment for him, more mana to work with. See, there's something about the volume of that is just louder than anything else. I do not know why, but it actually is disturbing me to a high degree. I'm gonna have to drop my game sound somehow. It just catches me way too off guard, but that kill certainly caught Poke off guard. Again, they had a good flank, they dropped the position, and with that movement out, it just... I mean, it's the nuke damage, right? We talked about it. Undying to soften up, and then all this magic damage coming out. It doesn't take too much to melt most of these heroes down.
No, it does not at all. So, again, you're going to have an advantage here for the puck in the mid lane. Let's take a look at some of the side lanes. We already mentioned a little bit about bottom, but do we think there might be some timing that Lonfair can reach where maybe he's going to be more comfortable against the Coddle in this matchup?
It doesn't feel like it. You really don't want to level Rage in the laning phase. Even if you did, its cooldown is pretty massive, so you really don't enjoy that. I think it's probably just going to be down to more of Ranfu's level. It's as odd as it is to say. Like, having some save on your Disruptor, having some harassment with a value point in Thunder Strike, that's where you can start to maybe dish it back. I mean, they have the glimpse of it. They'll try for that kinetic field. That's time.
Right, Chip. It looks like they're going to be able to get a kill off the back of it as well. So I was going to say, I was a bit concerned that they enabled that hard camp pull, especially against a Keeper of the Light. Like, this hero, you only shove the lane in and then look to try and pull the creeps back with the hard camp. So I was concerned that they let that through, but no, it's not going to matter. It sets themselves up for a kill. Lonfair's even got an Orb of Corrosion queued up as well, and he's actually going to buy out for it. So looks like they're going to try and play this lane very aggressive on Poke.
I like that. They know that the Tiny has to run up to really be aggressive. Disruptor's a really good punish for Tiny because he can't retreat right after Avalanche tossing. So he just gets pulled back in. If he doesn't get the toss off, he just melts to the output of your Life Sealer. And that's the focal point for Poke in that bot lane. Just harass out and try to punish this Tiny in the Coddle lane. The Coddle you probably can't reach, but the Tiny you will every single time because he has to be up front. And he is susceptible. And also that key timing in level 2, once you have some of that control coming out from Ranfu, just the glimpse, just the kinetic field to follow up from the glimpse, it's more than enough to give you that opening there.
We will quickly put some attention on how the other side lane's shaping up at the moment. Looks like Aaron and Killer, their kind of main idea of how they need to play this lane is just looking to try and avoid Chola on the Undying. Something we see often bottom lane. Sheep, he's going to go down again. All right. Well, This is... I honestly was not expecting them to be able to play this lane as aggressive as they are, but I'm quite impressed. And this is that Disruptor hero, right? You spoke about the levels. He's got the second point in the glimpse now. So it's going to make it even easier for them to get that catch.
It's a hard lane for Tiny to play. Like, outside of that combination with Chakra to sustain, Disruptor is just such an annoying hero. Oh, they found Chen.
Wow, he's going to go down as well, I think.
Oh, no.
I'm completely wrong about how they... I did not think they were going to look to play this lane aggressive. I'm very impressed. This is a great read on how they need to address the Tiny Coddle lane.
Yeah. I mean, they always just punish Sheep for coming up. And if you do see the Coddle alone, I mean, you've got the output. He doesn't have enough damage to just shove you out just yet. And he has the Chakra himself for the most part to illuminate. Sheep, he doesn't even have the brown boots to try and run up with the avalanche toss. So you don't have as many tools as you'd expect here for Supernova, and it does provide these openings out for Poke. I wanted to raise a point in the top lane. Like, they are avoiding the Undying and the Monkey King, but it does feel like Dong is just allowed to farm up as much as he can. Like, you are not stopping Monkey. You do not want to have to deal with Monkey as well, just because, well, it's a melee hero versus Monkey King matchup. It's always something that Monkey King will enjoy. You do have the really annoying Chain Lightning spell now on Killa, so there's some counterplay, but doesn't really have the mana sustain to keep that pumped out.
Yeah, I wonder if he's going to go...
Oh, wow.
I was not expecting them to get that little bit of damage to bring him down. Okay. The goddamn Chain Lightning. Yeah, I wonder if Killer goes Arcane Boots before the Midas, because he has this neutral, I guess, this neutral creep to play with.
I wouldn't mind it. I think you're going to meet your Midas timing anyway. But if you do want to work this lane back, the arcs are so important, although.
Oh no, John. Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah. This ward that Poke plays as well, just that really spots out the area where this Keeper of Light will want to try to spam his spells out. So it's good punishment out there. And it's kind of silly just how much they're able to do. Again, Disruptor, what a hero. Punishes you for overextending. Kinetic Field is a spell that you don't really have a solution for at all. So you just got run down. It just ties into the coordination between our Pawns 1 and our 5. Like, having that early Core of Corrosion to combine with a chase down, it just makes it so easy to rip. To rip both of these heroes apart, you think about the Coddle not high armor, you think about Tiny 0 armor. Orb of Corrosion is just massive value for Lon for it to find these kills and secure them for the lane.
I guess maybe the nice thing for Supernova is that we did just see some of the supports rotate mid to try and secure the power rune for Han. So the Puck's got an Arcane Rune now with the coil. He might be able to get a kill onto Aaron as well. Out of leap charges, it looks like is the Mirana. So yeah, Han's going to be able to hit the board. Second kill of the game here for the Puck. So at least the Puck's off to a pretty good start. Even net worth with regards to the Storm Spirit. He's going to look to try and continue to use that Arcane Rune top lane. Trying to play with Dong's Monkey King for the moment. They've still got the coil to utilize. And as a result, Han should be able to get an easy kill. So, I mean, this is that one big silver lining for Supernova is that your mid lane is off to a phenomenal start.
Yeah, that's the big one. That's the important one as well. If this Puck can start harassing, you know, you have this early timing on the Witchblade that can come out here as well. And the Puck starts to feel pretty suppressive. You've got the combos on hand.
Oh, they're going to get another kill. Aaron just TP back into the lane. It was a great toss while he was trying to get the leap away and dominating streak now. Sport KK is going to try and turn it around. But he doesn't have a level up in the Vortex, so Puck's more than happy. You got both supports nearby to try and secure the power rune that's going to come up in a couple of seconds as well. So this is nice movements coming out from Nova supports.
Yeah, it's starting to give them a lot more leeway. Applying this pressure early on, finding these nice pickoffs off the back of their Puck. And this is providing them a little bit more room to just farm up as well in their slower lanes. Top isn't necessarily slow for Dong, but it is starting to just be a solo lane for him. Although you do have the Threat of Doom ready on Killa. And now your Coddle's just kind of clearing out camps as well, trying to work into that early sustain for the team. Poke, though, already out with a smoke. They do have a pretty decent combo with a Vortex into Arrow, and it can come out from a really long range, so they just need to find that target. Pretty blind up top, no wards to spot, but if they somehow catch Dong here on the Monkey King, that would be huge.
A big kill. They're going to make the attempt. They're going to try and play around with the mischief, but not be enough with shenanigans to keep himself alive. They're still trying to funnel themselves into the area to see if they can get a rebuttal, but Small KK and Aaron are able to react, and now you've got this top lane getting shoved out as well, so they might be able to get a little bit of tower damage without the catapult.
Yeah. Just shove in a little bit. They could actually just commit for the full thing if they do want to, but I'll play it safe. They'll only show killer around, not overextend too much. Supernova with their own smoke now, though.
It's going to be Han that's leading the charge. Sheep ready behind him. Team Park has been the catalyst for a good early game here for Supernova, and once again, with him getting involved, it looks like Nova we're pretty strong wherever he's positioned across the map, so a 4-0-1 start. Dong's going to be able to get a kill as well off of the back of that previous death. It's going to help out a little bit in regards to his net worth. He's looking pretty good, though. I mean, it was expected for him to have a great lane, though, versus Doom, so he's 800 ahead of the offlaner for Poke. And I wonder what the item build's going to be for Dong on the Monkey King as well.
Yeah, it's a little bit slow for the Battle Fury, but something like an Echo Staver still makes sense here if you want to play aggressive. Early Tombstone drop to secure the regen.
Might not even be able to secure it for the Park. Han was playing over on the right side, and Runfood now is a Static Storm if they want to drop it on Sheep. It wouldn't even require it though, so an easy kill for them to find, and it means you don't get the bottle refill onto the Park. Now top lane, Small KK. He's making an attempt. The Vortex tries to set up for the arrow. It's a little bit too far away. Now Han, he's going to be able to rotate as well. They're going to be lacking the damage though just with the Puck, so they won't be able to get a turn potential. In fact, Han, he might be in trouble. A big kill if they're going to be able to find it. A bit of a streak that he's playing with early on, and Small KK rewarded with that kill. 350 gold injected into the bank.
This is feeling really awkward for Supernova. Like, you're forced to... You're getting a lot of pressure on Dong. You're getting a lot of space out for Poke on Lanfeu. So the Lifestealer is just able to pretty much solo farm. You haven't had Chen join into any of these engagements, as he really doesn't have much to offer. Once he has the mech, it feels a little bit better into the Guardian Greaves, but with that slower start in his lane, I mean, you're just not hitting that early tempo, and that is something we needed to see coming out from Supernova. Just this tempo coming out from their side lanes. They didn't get enough down bot. Top was a lot more passive for them as well. They lose their top tower. They're grouping up down bot just a little bit, and they drag Dong down here as well. So they want to get that tier 1 in exchange, and Lanfeu gets a good read. He had a nice ward drop in the secret shop area as well. So he just goes back to farming. You won't find a kill, but you will at least find some pressure. This isn't the fastest push, but with the numbers, you can get it done.
Maybe with all the gold saved up as well for Dong, he's going to go into that Radiance potentially. He picked it up in that previous game that he played the Monkey King, and I have to imagine he's going to go for it if he's got 2,200 gold saved up.
Man. I know. Like, I feel like every game I've watched with cores rushing Radiance, I cannot recall the time it has won. Granted, I saw like a DK Radiance rush from Ramses, and that also didn't feel right. And who were we talking to? I think we were talking to Artur, and I did ask him about that because he played the DK. I'm like, what do you think about Radiance Rush? He's like, it feels terrible on a lot of heroes. I feel like it's a little bit of a bait. Like, yes, Radiance got buffed, but I don't know if it's enough to justify it still. It's just such an awkward item to play with. I think the best Radiance carrier is still something like a Wraith King, honestly. I know. I just don't know if you can really maximize it in something like the Monkey. And if you wanted earlier aggression, an Echo Saber still feels better. If you want a better farm, you might as well go for a Battle Fury. I wouldn't actually mind a Battle Fury for Dong over something like the Radiance. Like, just try to scale up. Try to become this big hyper carry, play around with your Wukongs, because This core-to-core matchup of Lifestealer versus Monkey King is a weird one. When Wukong's is up, I think Monkey King has a slight advantage there. But while it's down, Lifestealer takes those fights outside of the circumstances, and they'll try an infest play here.
He's underneath a ward on small KK, so He's had plenty of time to be able to read this. Unfortunately, Storm's not going to get anything out of the double damage room. In fact, Supernova looking to try and make their own play across the map as well. It's going to be a 4-man smoke down at bottom. Of course, they've got great vision. Look to utilize with this play. Lonfer, I mean, that'd be the prime target. Killing Ranfu, they're nearby as well. Well, KK, he's actually going to look to try and start. Boundless Strike will connect. Hunt, he's going to be able to close the distance as well. They're going to be perfect with their damage. Small KK, he'll avoid a lot of it. It doesn't have much mana left, nor a TP as well. So, looks like in the end, the Storm Spirit will still go down. But Radiant, they want to respond. Ranfu, a Static Storm, it's just onto the Undying. Not the most valuable target to silence. In fact, it's not going to be for a long duration as well, as this could be the fight that Nova are looking for. Unfair. What's the play going to be? A rage into the TP out. Will it cover the full duration? It doesn't. Dong cancels it at the last second with the Boundless Strike. They get the kill. Now they're pouncing for more. As Dong's trying to close the distance on Ranfu. It's like you're going to have some difficulty though with the glimpse, but regardless, that is a much needed couple of kills going the way of Supernova.
And just coming off that ward, they had really good vision. They smoke across the map. Like, that's a really long run they had to take to find those kills, but they find them in the end. And inside of Poke have to still respect how much power Supernova has with tempo. Although, they find Chen. Oh, he got stomped by the Ogre.
No way. Surely that doesn't make him get... Oh,
that is so sad, dude. The Ogre Bruiser of all things. Like,
oh, and look at him. Oh, he doesn't even know what he just did. He's just half health, barely alive, looking on by. No, oh, that's so...
Oh,
I feel for
disgusting.
him. I feel for him.
You know, funny enough, I feel like the only other player I think I've seen maximize the Ogre Bruiser was Ponlo with his Chen, and he actually managed to use that stun. I can't believe it. It's sometimes the thing just clips you, you know, off guard. You just notice that damn thing waving his dumb club around and you die.
It's so silly. It's such a long charge up as well. That's the thing. Like, you would never expect it to do something like that. How long's the charge up actually? For 3 seconds. Oh no, stuns for 3 seconds, sorry.
I'm not sure what the cast point
Regardless,
is. Regardless, it's a big channel. It's so dumb.
Well, these past couple of minutes have been everything you would want for Nova. You've got it's a great Radiance timing, John. 16:30 in for the Monkey King. He's ahead of the park, pretty much even with the Doom, who Killer, even off the back of his rough lane. We got the early Midas out of him, max out Devour. So this was everything Nova would be hoping for. And what can we hope, what can we expect out of them now at this stage of the game with kind of the items that we see picked up from them?
And they've just got to group up and get aggressive now. You've got the blink on Han. Sheep inching towards his own blink slowly but surely here as well. They can shine in these fights, and it's Poke that need more time to build up, although they catch Dong.
They're going to start with the Static Storm, though, for Ranfu. So they're going to be able to turn it back around. Dong tries to lay down the command, but no one else is nearby to hold them into place. They'll just turn the Chola instead. Lonfair's not getting a lot of health back. Really a little bit cautious. Oh, he jumped out before the Static Storm connected. So they're going to be forced to do it, but the Glimpse sends him away. Oh no, a messy use of the spells for Poke. You know, but the Storm's in trouble. They got the toss combo to break the coil. Puck jaunts over to the high ground. Lonfair's going to try and TP out. Will it be in time? Looks like it will be, but nonetheless, a disastrous fight for Poke once again, back to back to back. It's all Supernova at this stage.
Yeah, they've got that timing. They've got that tempo. This lineup still shines early on. They've got a hell of a lot of sustain with a full Guardian Greaves coming out here on Chen. And you don't have any protection up on Poke. They just do not deal with these fights in terms of counter initiation all too well. Where Poke shines is them jumping in first, them playing with, say, a zip in into the Vortex Arrow, getting a glimpse back, trapping someone in kinetic field. Your only counterplay in terms of fighting into Supernova going at you is really just Static Storm, and it's difficult to maximize that on Ranfu. You just don't have any other hold once that's down, any other big AoE spell outside of a kinetic field to help. And probably the War Stomp from Killer, which you don't really count.
Back alive, Ranfu. Should be an easy kill into the disruptor. It's just a question of can they catch up to Unfair, and he's going to be able to rage and disengage here, but I mean, we're going to see now as the game continues on. In fact, they're even going to try and attempt Roche. To die with this close proximity fight, like we kind of haven't spoken a whole lot about their team fight synergy, where you've got the coil in combination with the Wukongs. You can't disengage from the Tombstone. Tiny can maybe break the coil as well with the toss. He's got Blink now to start or follow up on Han. So they are in a great position now on Supernova, and they want more kills off the back of this. Cheap looks for the chain control, so Dong can provide the damage, and they can easily go back to Roche after that free kill.
Yeah, not going to be any sort of contention coming out from Poke. They know they have to just sit back, let it go, try to farm up themselves, get some keep build up. I'm surprised Small KK is rushing like the Sange coming out, the Kai Sange into just a straight Hex. Like no BKBs, no nothing to just help him go around there, and really just want to get more control jumping in. I still feel like initiation control for Poke isn't an issue. You still have Vortex plus Arrow, which is still huge. You still have this follow-up with the War Stomp once you have this Blink Up and Kill It, and it's not too far off. So I'm surprised Small KK feels the need for like the Hex. Probably just wants to lock in Han more than anything else. Like right and quick. But without any protection, it feels risky for the Storm. We've seen him die so many times. Like Small KK is susceptible to a lot of stuff, and if his zip doesn't lead to that Hex on Han, the silence will just hold him down for long enough to get that kill.
Yeah, maybe it feels like the Mage Slayer and the Kyron Sange is enough a defensive tool without needing the BKBs. Well, mid lane again, Aaron is going to go down. Looks like there was a coil in combination with Sheep's burst potential killer, though. Oh, so close to finding the puck, but great reactions out of Han. Killer's going to have to expend an early BKB and look to TP out. That's not the fight that Poke were hoping for to re-enter this game.
Yeah. That's a pretty big BKB charge to force out. They also had the Infest going. So it's going to be down for a minute if they wanted to play aggressive here on the side of Poke. Going to have to sit and wait for that one to be back up. Supernova doing a good job of just clearing out the map right now. They're just farming up themselves. They're getting aggressive.
Oh, Static Storm laid down onto the puck.
Oh, that's a big one.
Sheep, he's trying to get him to toss away, but won't be able to find an angle. Now, but the Doom's going to be used on the puck as well, as finally Poke able to catch a break and have a team fight that goes their way. They might even be able to get Shoulder as well, as Small KK got a little bit of remaining mana to close the distance. So, I mean, that's that thing about the Tiny to the Disruptor. They used to be a long time ago. You could find the toss just on the edge of the kinetic field Static Storm, but now that they increase the Static Storm range, you're unable to do that, and as a result, the puck goes down and multiple other members.
Yeah, it's a big set of kills, and that's what we need to see from Poke, just a successful initiation in, have some control to start these fights, and then you can follow through. They keep themselves in the game. They even out the kill board 14 to 15, and that's them fighting into Aegis. Dong not around to really use his secondary life. Oh. Nice glimpse back.
Under ward though. There we go. Ranfu should be able to deal with it. Yeah, now with Lee going back into the favor of Poke off the back of that. So you still got 2 minutes left on Aegis here for Supernova. What do you feel like is realistic for them to be able to get out of this? Can they get this tier 2 down bottom and even maybe a little bit more?
Not sure. They can commit for the tier 2. You don't have to worry about Doom for a full minute still. So you've got room to just kind of get a push going. The side of Poke aren't really in position. They're kind of just taking over top. They'll try to get a little shove themselves onto that top tier 2. So the most realistic option is just a trade. I would say that the push is it's starting to go a little bit faster with Sheep around with his right click on hand. So the trade will come out, but you're not putting yourself in like a position of an advantage anymore for Supernova with that trade. Like you can take the outpost, but you already have the outpost top. Arguably, the Dire outpost is much more important anyway for the next Roshan, which is still a ways off. But if Poke can kind of just hold on to that area, they're going to feel really good on that next objective. Smoke out from Supernova here, though.
Dongy's going to show on the lane. A couple of pings come out. I believe it was smoked on the wave. He didn't jump down, so it's like they do have at least some idea of what's going on across the map. You're going to see Dong flying by as well to the northern side. Small KK is nearby, but he's going to play this one a little bit more passive. So the smoke with the remaining duration of that Aegis is not going to work out here for Supernova.
They get their outpost back, so they don't have to worry about too many weird flanks or Roche control for a little bit of time. They get the good ward as well down on the ramp area by Roche, so they've got some good vision to play with as well. For the side of Poke, this is starting to be the timing where this lineup is going to be a lot harder to deal with, right? We talked about that scaling into your 20-25 minute timing. It's pretty much online for Poke here. You've got the full Bloodthorn coming out for Small KK, so a lot more control coming out for him. I don't believe he actually went to finish the Hex. Yeah, he's just going for the Orchid. So he wants the faster build-up, which is wants a way to punish Han, and Han doesn't have any sort of self-dispel. So you will still get that strong initiation you're looking for here outside of this Doom Blink in from Killa. And for the side of Supernova, I mean, they still have scaling left, right? Like, your Monkey King is still farming quite fast with a Radiance up. The Ags is going to come out. But it's Poke now that's taking the initiative, and this is really just where their lineup shines. If they can find that good jump in again.
They saw the Lifestealer infest the Storm Spirit, so they should have some idea that this is going on. You kind of see Cholo's position as well, putting himself on the front, looking to shove out mid to maybe give themselves an opportunity to make a play pretty shortly. Pop kind of does have to be addressed, so Killer's going to look to do that. They won't have the Doom now, and Han is starting to move on over. It might be the first point of contact, or Small KK. It's going to come down to who gets the vision. Sides on and Knife's Edge, looking to try and play around for the power room, but it's a long zip in onto the park for the Orchid. The damage, it should come through fast enough. Lonfair, he's able to provide it with an ease, and now Chol, he's going to be the next target as well. Nova, they feel like they can take the team fight. Don't gonna try and make the attempt with the Wukong's command. They'll toss in Aaron, but really, that's the Marauder you're looking to try and bring down instead of some of the other cores, and they're going to be enabled to dive deep behind the tier 1 tower as Poke knows there is nothing to hold them down into place. This Killer will give the vision to glimpse back Chen. A 4-for-1 in the end, and Aaron, he'll take that death any day of the week as long as his boys are able to come out on top in the engagement.
That's just massive for Poke. Like, they work the angle out. They manage to see the puck at the edge of their ward. They get that initiation. They blow up the one big piece of team fight that you do have on Nova's side. Like, without that Dream Coil, without that puck trying to weave in and out, it becomes a very simple fight for the side of Poke to take. And again, with this build we're seeing from Small KK, you can save the Doom for someone like the Monkey King. You doom him up, he just gets run down. Again, Monkey King outside of Wukong's is just food for the Lifestealer. You just don't win out. You really need that extra armor to feel good in the Monkey fighting against the Lifestealer here. So it's just really awkward for Nova. And for Nova's part, you can't allow Poke to be the ones initiating. Again, where Nova shined a while ago was also them taking initiative. So both sides kind of just don't feel good in counter fights. I think it's kind of all in and just being the first to initiate. And Nova is just giving these opportunities now to Poke. Again, they've been standing back a little bit more. They've been waiting for item timings. They've just been working their farm, playing it safe. But that makes Poke realize we can play fast.
Now the jump in Both sides going to look to find the angle simultaneously, but ran
no.
through. Gets the static storm onto the park. That's illegal. He shouldn't be able to do so. But with the control, can they chase him down though? It's a pretty good Wukong command. In fact, it's going to be enough to keep Han alive. Run through that blink. Catching them off guard, but it's not going to matter in the end. So a 1-for-1 would have been much worse though for Supernova.
I think it was a 2-for-1. They bought back controller. So they bring the Undying back in. Already expending some gold there just to try to force that fight out. Maybe feeling like Roche could be a quick timer, so they have to like win out and prevent Roshan from breaking through, but respawn is still a ways off here. So Nova, and it's not the biggest resource to expend, but it's also pretty awkward. You have to use the Wukongs. You had to use your BKB here on Dong. He does have the full Ags up. And this is where it can start to feel a little bit better for the Monkey King in some of these fights. They just need to find an angle in. Side of Poke are still nearby.
Do we feel like both teams need to consider about the importance of a gem this game? With you just mentioning before, like that you feel a lot of it comes down to who is actually the first team that gets the jump?
I think there's value in the gem. I don't know if you have the most comfy gem carriers, though. Like, if you bleed out that gem, the other side just has a huge advantage. I think you just try to ward, and ward smartly. Try to just maintain vision control that way. Oh, okay. Aaron pops out in the nick of time. 40 seconds still Roche. Both sides are just standing in that area. This ward on the riverside from Poke has been causing so much hurt. This led to the Undying kill. This led to the earlier puck kill and a puck attempt there as well. And they haven't had the opportunity to cross on Nova to clear it, but they'll try to smoke out here at the least.
One fair should be able to pop the smoke in. Great reactions, and he's not even going to hesitate as well. He's just like instantly out of there. See if he should have time to be able to reconnect to the team as well with Roche up in 10 seconds, but it does give time now for Supernova to de-ward. That is at least something that goes their way before this Roche fight. Ooh, Small KK's farming up a BKB as well. He should have enough. They're actually going to look to try and start the fight kill. That's a very early use of the BKB. Like, what's the call? It's like disengage is the name of the game for them.
Oh, they'll try again though. Even with a BKB down. A fresh BKB on small KK, that's a big reveal here.
Onfu wants to try and drop some vision. They're going to be able to get the initiation onto small KK. It's a lot of the control inside the fights, but meanwhile, Killer, he finds the Monkey King. He's going to be protected with the BKB at the moment, but it doesn't matter. At least if you muted this target, there's going to be no work on command. As soon as the BKB expires, they'll turn their attention to bring down the carry on Supernova. As Poke once again, if they're the ones getting the initiation, it seems like Supernova have no hope in these fights.
He even got a little help from Roshan. You remember how small KK got bashed up with a creep? Well, this time around, you got Dong bashed up by Roche right as that fight started. All he could do was pop BKB, but nothing can happen. Yeah, I mean, you got something off a creep. This time Poke got something off the Roche, and they'll clean up Roche too. No problems here. The shard actually goes to small KK, so we've got the overload active ready to go. The disco party on hand. A bit surprising. I thought maybe you'd prioritize. Well, you do already have open boots on lawn first, so I guess it's fine. It's still a bit funky. Like, shard on... Oh, okay, Killer has his own shard. Okay, that makes more sense. Like, there's literally no other shard, because Storm shard in this game doesn't feel high priority. At the same time, Disruptor and Mirana shards are also kind of meh. So at least you can run down here. It's a lot faster for this. For Supernova, this game's starting to get really difficult. Like, your Monkey King just cannot do enough on his own. You don't have any Lincolns to save as well. Even if you did, there's enough single target here on the side of Poke that eventually the Doom will just come out anyway. Han is trying to save up for that Lincolns, but it's going to take some time. It doesn't feel like Poke is going to give them that time with how ahead they know they are.
At least the scan from Supernova will be on the mark, so the small KK doesn't even care. Just a Early zip towards the backline. Chen, he's going to get glimpse back as well. So another kill for them to add to the tally, and Puck just narrowly escapes. So 2 members going down, a free tier 2 tower. They might poke the high ground. They might just zip in. What's going to stop them? Small KK sheet. Beautifully done, trying to disrupt the damage, but the arrow connects from afar, and they're going to call it. Harmony's out. Another early GG, and Poke. I mean, what a way. We saw a couple of team fights not going their way around the 15 to 20 minute mark.